This is NEM 2015, and I have the honor of talking to Scott Ehrlich, CEO and founder of The Q. Hello and welcome to Dubrovnik, to NEM.
Thank you. It's great to be here.
You just finished your panel.
Did.
It was called Pay TV Avoiding the Pinch.
Yes.
And you said it was a good panel, so I have to talk to some audience.
Yeah, I thought it went well, but ask the audience.
I'm going to ask you the same question that I have here as a pitch for the panel. What is the decisive factor in the search for new audience? What would you say?
I think when you're looking for a new audience, I think the first thing you have to do is figure out where the audience is. Mm-hmm. So for our channel, we looked at the pay TV dial and we saw, 10 movie channels, 6 sports channels, 18 general entertainment channels, and then we looked at the audience. Mm-hmm. And the audience is watching a lot of video on the internet. Mm-hmm. Well, there was none of the video from the internet in the pay TV package. So what we sought to do is take the audience that was watching on the internet, right, and bring that content and that audience mm-hmm. back to the pay TV world.
Mm-hmm. Right. When you say new audience, when anyone says new audience, does that mean young audience, younger audience?
Well, I'd say younger, right? Mm-hmm. I don't know too many 12-year-olds that are subscribing to pay TV and maybe going to their parents for the money, but people generally define the millennial demographic as kind of 18 to 34, mm-hmm. right? Our target's really the older half of that, so 25 to 34. Mm-hmm. Those 18 to 24 is really hard, right? They're very young, they don't have a lot of money, but over 25, people start to have jobs and start to have families. They're still interested in this great short-form content that they mm-hmm. see on the internet, but they don't have hours and hours and hours to go searching around on the internet right. for it. So we deliver it to them in a package that gets delivered through the pay TV operator, and it's very clean. There's no commercials, all high definition. Right. You get to find what you want without having to go through the effort.
Why the Q?
Why the Q? That's a good one. So it actually started as the English word Q, Q-U-E-U-E,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
Or a lineup, a playlist. Mm-hmm. And that's quite literally what the channel is. It's a playlist of the best videos on the internet.
Oh.
And then we realized that over time the network would become more about the viewer, you, mm-hmm. right? Mm-hmm. As the channel gets more personalized, we get more into interactive TV, mobile mm-hmm. applications for right. the channel. It becomes increasingly about the viewer. Right. And so we kind of put those two things together.
Great. What do you think is going to happen to classical television, free-to-air content, linear TV in 5 years?
I think that's a largely part of the question, where, right? Because mm-hmm. the answer to that question is very...
In the U.S. In the U.S.?
I don't think linear television is dying anytime soon. I produced a web series 6 years ago, and we released it on DVD. And people were, web series on DVD, what are you thinking? And well, DVD may at the time have been a declining business, but 70 million were sold that day. So I'd like a few of them to be mine, right?
Nice.
I view linear television as the same way. I think it's different things for different people at different times. And so the way we built our channel, the linear channel works with on-demand and with mobile. So if you see something on the linear channel and you say, that was a great video, you can go on demand and watch 12 right. more videos from that same artist, or you could binge watch a whole web series. And so we see it becoming more of an ecosystem where the live channel works with the on-demand mm-hmm. offering, works with the mobile offering, mm-hmm. and it all creates a complete experience for viewers instead of, today you kind of have there's linear viewing over here and there's on-demand viewing mm-hmm. over here, and they're sort of like little ghettos, right, mm-hmm. that don't really cross.
Right.
I think in the future you'll see more people deciding what type of content they want to watch, mm-hmm. and then deciding if it's a linear or an on-demand
experience. They do that right now in a way, right?
They do that in a way, but especially in the U.S., the interface is very clunky, right? Mm-hmm. It's not very elegant to get from linear to on demand. Right. Some of the set-top boxes and EPGs that we mm-hmm. see coming in the next 2-3 years really kind of unite those worlds, and we're kind of building towards that world. As a young network, we're building towards the future instead of trying to maintain what used to happen.
What do you do personally?
I go to a lot of conferences like this.
No, I mean when it comes to consuming the content that you like.
For me, it really is a mix. I mean, I have times where, a lot of times, particularly in the evenings, where I don't actually want to have to think about what I want to watch. I want to sit down. I want to turn on the TV. I want to.
You want to see what somebody else chose for you.
Yeah, I want to just you know what? Just don't. My brain needs to stop thinking for a little bit. Just entertain me, right? But then there are other times where I'm looking for something specific, and I'll go on. So I think, you know, for me, my family, it's all a blend. And my kids are sort of an interesting case because they're young enough that they've never had something not available to them, right? And they can't actually relate to it's not available to me. At the same
or you
time,
have to wait for it for 7 days or 10 days or 6 months.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Which is why we built our network so that, you know, people can skip ahead in time. They can go backwards in time. They can go off and have their own experience based on what interests them, right? And try to build it in a way that would enhance that user experience. And that's by and large, you know, the digital transition is all about consumers having a choice, having a choice of what screen to consume it on, having a choice of what to consume, having a choice of where to consume it. That's really what digital is about. It's not about, you know, are people going to do this versus this? No, they're going to do both depending on what mood they're in. Right. And so for us, linear still plays a very important role, but it's a role player in amongst a group of actors. Right.
Thank you very much.
My pleasure.